In the headlines for this hour on VTV News, the Fourth World Conference of Overseas Vietnamese opens. National Assembly Standing Committee continues Q&A session. In our news, Russia and China to boost strategic cooperation.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Hello, it's 3 p.m. local time in Hanoi. You're watching VTV News. On the morning of August 22nd, the Fourth World Conference of Overseas Vietnamese and the Forums of Vietnamese Intellectuals and Experts Abroad took place in Hanoi. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính attended the conference. About 400 overseas Vietnamese delegates from 130 countries and territories, along with 200 domestic delegates, attended the conference. Previously held in 2009, 2012, 2016, the fourth Overseas Vietnamese Conference is centered on the theme, Overseas Vietnamese Join Hands to Realize the Aspiration for National Development. Through the conference, overseas Vietnamese delegates, including Vietnamese intellectuals and businessmen in other countries, will contribute ideas and suggestions for the construction and development of the country to help domestic agencies better understand the situation, aspiration, difficulties, and problem of overseas Vietnamese in the new situation. Additionally, the event seeks to strengthen the connections between Vietnamese business people and intellectual experts abroad and those in the country. It also aims to promote investments by overseas Vietnamese and foster innovation networks both at home and abroad. On Thursday morning, under the chair of National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn, the National Assembly Standing Committee continued the questions and answer sessions on the implementations of resolutions of the National Assembly Standing Committee in the fields of public security, justice, and courts.
Voters believe that the government needs to establish a larger, more well-organized cybercrime fighting force to prevent cybercrime. What is your response to this?
Solutions to combat this type of crime must be specific. Firstly, we need to promote the use of electronic identification accounts for citizens. These serve as digital IDs in cyberspace to authenticate identities when participating in online activities and limit frauds. Secondly, it is necessary to promote the national population database to eliminate virtual accounts and junk SIM cards. Thirdly, it is necessary to strengthen the capacity of the cybersecurity force. We advise voters to be vigilant when receiving phone calls from unknown numbers.
A proposal has been made to address the issue of improperly prepared law drafting dossiers. These problems include late submissions, missed deadlines. Mr. Minister, could you please give us an explanation?
The first solution is enforcing discipline. Minister must be in charge of legal work. It is necessary to strengthen the quality of human resources. In the current context, human resources are fundamental. The government has amended Decree 55, issuing salary reform for public workers. We will consider amending and supplementing the law of promulgating legal documents.
After 1.5 working days, the Q&A session of the 36th session of the National Assembly Standing Committee concluded on Thursday morning. National Assembly Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn said that the 75 National Assembly deputies who spoke at the sessions demonstrated the high responsibility, asking short, clear, focused questions and going straight to the point. Government members and sectors had shown a firm grasp of their respective field, current situations. They were frank, serious, and receptive when answering questions and accepting the opinions of National Assembly deputies. pointing out a number of basic key tasks directly related to responsibilities of ministries in sector. The National Assembly chairman emphasized that General Secretary and State President To Lam has repeatedly stressed the importance and urgencies of promoting institutional development, promptly addressing obstacles to socio-economic growth, ensuring national defense and security, managing foreign affairs, and preventing corruption and negativity. The mega project approved in April 2023 aimed to construct at least 1 million social housing units between 2021 and 2030, with approximately 428,000 units stated for completion by 2025. As supply-demand imbalances drive sharp increases in apartment prices, promoting social housing can help regulate the real estate market. However, to achieve this ambitious project, locality must focus on removing obstacles.
This land is considered a prime location in the center of Haiphong City. It is being allocated for social housing projects. The city currently has 9 social housing projects located in the city center that are also close to industrial parks, schools, and hospitals.
The city has directed departments and agencies to handle administrative procedures and reduce the waiting time to support investors.
Currently, many localities are focused on allocating land for social housing projects. According to real estate experts, Decree 100 has clear guidelines regarding the development and management of social housing. Enterprises are entitled to 10% of profits after all costs are calculated correctly. Simplifying administrative procedures would reduce project implementation costs, ultimately lowering the price of social housing units.
Recent laws have removed many complicated procedures to shorten project implementation time. This is a favorable condition for investors in social housing projects.
The laws clearly state income requirements. A family with 2 spouses earning less than $1,200 per month is eligible to buy social housing. The laws have simplified regulations, requiring only spouses to submit their monthly salary statements. This way, more people will be able to participate in social housing.
According to statistics from the Ministry of Construction, in the first 6 months of 2024, Vietnam completed 8 social housing projects with a scale of 3,136 units. However, many localities remain slow to act in this field.
Ho Chi Minh City has 6 social housing projects eligible for the $4.8 billion credit package, with 3 projects already securing bank loans. Notably, the housing project for workers in Thủ Đức City had disbursed $6.8 million. The State Bank of Vietnam Ho Chi Minh City branch reports that the city is implementing various preferential lending policies for social housing. The Bank for Social Policies Ho Chi Minh City branch offers preferential loans for purchasing or renting social housings, as well as for building new homes or renovating existing ones. These loans adhere to current regulations, with interest rate regulated and issued periodically. Phước An Port, Dong Nai largest seaport, is set to begin operation next month. Located on the banks of the Thị Vải River in the dynamic southern economic regions, which includes Ho Chi Minh City, Dong Nai, Bình Dương, and Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu. The port sketches over 3,000 meters with 6 container wharves and 4 general wharves. With a depth of 50 meters, and port can accommodate cargo ship up to 60,000 tons. Phước An Port has an annual capacity of 2.5 million TEUs for containers and 6.5 million tons for general cargo. The Vietnamese Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development and the General Administration of China Customs have signed 3 significant protocols regarding quarantine requirements, paving the way for the official export of fresh coconuts, frozen durian, and crocodiles to China. This represents a major advancement in bilateral trade relations, particularly for Vietnamese agricultural sector.
Concerns over plant quarantine regulations and limited storage times will be alleviated. Frozen durian is expected to rake in 400 to 500 million USD this year, bringing the total export value of durian to 3.5 billion USD, with 90% bound for China. Durian is now the highest value export among the 3 items covered by the new protocols.
Thanks to advanced preservation and freezing technologies, frozen durian can maintain quality comparable to fresh fruit. This can also be a significant source of raw material for producing other durian-based products. The frozen durian industry in Dak Lak is anticipated to see substantial growth in the near future.
In addition to durian, 2 other important protocols have been signed for the export of fresh coconuts and crocodiles. With a market of over 1.4 billion people, gaining official export status not only brings economic benefits, but also motivates sustainable development for Vietnamese agricultural products. The Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development will continue to work with China's General Administration of Customs to facilitate Vietnamese exports to the Chinese market.
This development is seen as a significant opportunity for the durian industry in particular. This is major news as the strengthened trade relations between the 2 countries has created new opportunities for agricultural exchanges.
In the first 7 months of 2024, Vietnam's fruit and vegetable exports to China reached 2.5 billion USD, up 25% over the same period last year. This demonstrates that with proper preparation and official export status, Vietnamese agricultural products can establish a strong presence in the Chinese market.
According to a survey by the Vietnam E-commerce Association, more than half of businesses nationwide have deployed stores on online platforms. Many manufacturing businesses are now investing in online sales as a strategic move. These new sales methods align well with customer preferences. However, success in this area requires significant effort.
This business has started developing online sales along with its traditional retail system. Stores on e-commerce platforms such as Shopee or on social networks such as TikTok and live streaming sessions earn them over 18 million USD in revenue per year. The figure is expected to double in the next 2 years.
The growth of e-commerce sales benefits users, reducing many intermediate distribution channels. Not only does it help bring in sales, it also helps businesses reach users directly.
Affiliate marketing involves partnering with influential people to sell products online. This approach helps businesses quickly gain trust and sell in large quantity. Mega live streaming sessions can generate thousands of dollars in sales in just a few hours. However, when products are sold online in bulk at low prices, it directly impacts the retail store system. Businesses must carefully consider this effect.
Enterprises can research and develop products specifically for e-commerce or push large quantities of inventory into mega live sessions to avoid a direct impact on their agents.
Online sales sessions can move a large quantity of products quickly. However, storage, logistics, transportation, and after-sales care require systematic investment to avoid opportunistic business practices.
On the internet, both good and bad news spread rapidly. Therefore, businesses should have contingency plans in place to address potential risks in their operations and communications.
And before moving on to some other news, let's take a look at foreign exchange rate for today, August 22nd. Coming up next on VTV News, heavy rain causes flash floods and landslides in northern mountainous region. And Vietnam's Coast Guard proudly support fishermen at sea. Hà Giang, Lai Châu, Yên Bái, and Tuyên Quang experienced heavy rain Wednesday night and Thursday morning The downpour triggered local landslide with falling rocks and soil damaging the roof of 5 to 6 households in Tông Village, Thượng Lâm Commune, Lâm Bình District, Tuyên Quang Province. Fortunately, no casualties were reported. The risk of landslide and flash floods remain high in Tuyên Quang and other mountainous and midland regions of the north. Thunderstorms are expected to continue until Friday morning, with rainfall forecasts ranging from 30 to 70 millimeters and some areas potentially receiving over 150 millimeters. Other northern areas will experience rain in the late afternoon and at night, with some locations facing heavy rains and the potentials for tornadoes, lightning, and strong gusts of wind. Early Thursday morning in Con Plong District, Con Tum Province, 3 earthquakes occur consecutively. The earthquakes occur between 1:41 a.m. and 2:59 a.m. on Thursday morning, with magnitude ranging from 2.5 to 3. As the tremor were not strong, they did not cause any damage. The Earthquake Information and Tsunami Warning Center at the Institute of Geophysics continue to monitor the earthquake situation in this area. Vietnam generates approximately 100,000 tons of electronic waste annually. This form of waste, which includes discarded TVs, phones, and computers, can release hazardous substances like lead and mercury if not properly handled. To help citizens safely dispose of electronic waste, the Vietnam Recycles program has been operating for several years. It is the country's first free electronic waste collection program.
Instead of discarding his old TV screen with regular household waste, Khai brought it to an e-waste collection point located near a supermarket he frequents.
I noticed these electronic recycling bins while shopping, so I brought my old broken items along to dispose of them here.
These collection points have also been frequented by the environmentally conscious.
I live nearby, so I often bring electronic waste here. It used to bother me how polluted the surrounding environment was.
The program offers 2 collection methods. Citizens and businesses can either bring their e-waste to designated collection points or request home collection services. Once collected, the electronic waste is sorted by product category and dismantled by material type. They are then processed professionally to ensure maximum resource recovery and environmentally safe recycling practices.
The program has conducted numerous awareness campaigns to educate the public on the dangers of electronic waste. Currently, it has established 10 collection points in Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi.
In the last 10 years, Vietnam Recycles has collected and processed more than 140 tons of electronic waste. Public awareness and participation are crucial to maintaining a greener, cleaner environment.
The Vietnam Coast Guard has been actively engaged in not only enforcing maritime law but also supporting fishermen at sea and safeguarding the nation's sacred maritime sovereignty. To fulfill those duties with particularly effectiveness and responsibility, several significant programs have been implemented under the Vietnam Coast Guard Watch, such as the Coast Guard Accompanies Fishermen Initiative. This support has become a reliable source of encouragement, helping fishermen confidently venture out to sea.
The Coast Guard has stood by fishermen during storms, searched for and rescued maritime workers in distress, and provided medical care to fishermen on vessels located far offshore. Its presence has been timely and consistent whenever civilian assistance is required.
I have the utmost respect for the Vietnam Coast Guard. Their troops are strong and fearless. I'm forever indebted to them because I wouldn't have been able to survive the predicament without their rescue.
Luckily, the Coast Guard troop managed to send my husband home. Without them, there's no telling how long it would have taken him to recover.
Over the past 5 years, the Coast Guard Accompanies Fishermen program has rescued and assisted 63 vessels in distress and safely brought over 1,000 people back to shore. Additionally, 58 students from underprivileged fishing families have been awarded scholarships up to the age of 18.
The presence of the Coast Guard has been highly valued, not just in Quang Ngai province, but across all coastal regions. We all are in need of more frequent patrols, not only during the stormy season, but also during fishing operations. Help fishermen maintain discipline.
This initiative has significantly raised public awareness and compliance with the law, particularly among fishermen. It contributes to ensuring maritime security and safety, the maritime economy, and reinforcing a strong national defense at sea.
By putting fishermen's interests first, the Coast Guard has effectively mobilized the strength of the people. This is evident in the strong support the program has received over the past 5 years from the standing committees of 28 coastal provinces.
Founded in 1998, the Total Conservation Center of the Cúc Phương National Park has been rescuing tortoises and freshwater turtles from illegal poaching. The center currently provides care for over 2,000 turtles, including many endangered species listed in the Red Book. The care process from egg laying to hatching to nurturing hatchlings is meticulous and detailed. More to follow.
These are eggs from a specific breed of turtle native to the central Vietnam, with each nest usually containing around a dozen eggs. Staff are on daily patrol around potential nesting areas.
Surrounding predators such as snakes, rodents, and even ants can detect the smell of the hatchling eggs and attack the nest for food. That's why we have to move the eggs into incubators the moment we're aware of the hatch.
The incubation process involves a modified refrigerator, with an average incubation period of 2 or 3 months depending on the species. Hatchlings receive special care for about 2 years before being released into the wild.
It's super interesting with the eggs because it's different every day, and sometimes we have new eggs and maybe they start to hatch.
Can you open and check?
Yes. Okay, we can put it out. Looks like a good day today.
Wow.
We have a cute box turtle hatching.
Oh,
can see the head already? Can you see it?
A baby?
Yes.
All turtles at the center are rescued from illegal poaching or successfully reproduced and nurtured under our care.
The center separates land and aquatic turtles, housing over 2,000 individuals, including several critically endangered species. Open to visitors, the center raises public awareness about the threats facing turtle species in Vietnam.
Coming up next in our World News, Russia and China to boost strategic cooperation. An Indian premier arrived in Poland ahead of Ukraine visit. Russian Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin and Chinese Premier Li Qiang held talks on Wednesday to boost trade and economic cooperation. Chinese Premier Li Qiang stated that China is committed to strengthening bilateral cooperation with Russia based on mutual respect and trust. Russian Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin in turn said that both countries have ideal conditions for enhanced strategic cooperation. During the meeting, both sides agreed to create new growth drivers for their economies and bilateral trade while promoting e-commerce development. Following the talks in Moscow, the heads of Russian and Chinese governments signed several joint investment agreements. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrived in Warsaw on the first leg of his two-nation visit to Poland and Ukraine. He will meet with Polish President Andrzej Sebastian Duda and hold talks with Prime Minister Donald Tusk. The talks will revolve around technology, security, and defense. Following this stop, the Indian Prime Minister will head to the Ukrainian capital, Kyiv. He said ahead of his visit that he will share perspective on a peaceful resolution of the ongoing Ukraine conflict. Thailand reported its suspected first case of a new, more dangerous strain of Mpox on Wednesday, the Clade 1b virus. According to Thailand's Department of Disease Control, the patient is a European tourist who arrived from an African country. The patient is now quarantined at a hospital. Experts are conducting tests to confirm the strains of the virus. Although official results won't be available for 2 days, the medical community believes it is a Clade 1 variant. World Health Organization data show that Clade 1b is fatal as in about 3.6% of all mpox cases. Chile has the world's largest copper reserve and is the world's largest producer of copper, producing an estimated 5.3 million metric tons of copper from mines, under growing pressure from global clients demanding sustainable mining credentials. A Chilean copper giant, Codelco, is trying to give itself a green makeover. Its solutions involve investing in electric buses, cactus nurseries, and recycling metal materials and tools.
The state firm, the world's largest producer of the red metal, has focused the drive on its flagship El Teniente mine, the world's largest underground copper mine. The drive is in part a public relations push to burnish the firm's green credentials, which is increasingly relevant as customers demand greater traceability and sustainability of the copper used in electric cars to wind turbines.
Clearly, the economic value of this is a little more expensive because there are transport values in between, but we believe that as we continue doing it, we will make our process more efficient.
As part of the green makeover, a fleet of some 100 electric buses, converted from diesel, brings workers from the nearby city of Rancagua. Other new systems involve taking recovered metal bolts, meshes, and wheels to recycle and reuse in the mine. Today, this fleet of bus is avoiding around 3,000 tons of CO2 annually. This means that all personnel transportation inside the tunnels has zero emissions, and therefore there's better air quality for the miners who work there. The true environmental impact is less clear, experts said. Copper mining remains highly water-intensive, and waste tailings can contain heavy metals, while light pollution from mines disrupts mountainous Andean areas renowned for clear night skies.
I think we are all in a learning process of knowing what can be done to help solve this. Maybe the contribution is still marginal, but all things start like this. First, the concern is generated. Second, it is accompanied by some legislation that contributes to it.
Codelco is also working with the government on a nursery and research center to produce native species, including under-threat local cactus plants. This goes hand in hand with regenerating areas damaged by tailing dams of waste mine material.
And now, as usual, let's continue with the weather forecast. And that's all the news for today. To rewatch our program, you can log on to VTVgo.vn or download our mobile application VTVgo. Thanks for watching and goodbye for now.